So today the team's letting me off. I'm gonna be in the streets of Toronto for 7 days. I'm gonna experience what it feels like to be homeless for 7 days and nights. As a company, we help out the homeless. So to know more about the problem, I think the best way to learn about it was to experience it. I'm always looking to achieve the most for myself and to break barriers in a way. So I thought that this is something that would take a lot out of me, and it'd be very difficult to do. But I mean, if I could accomplish something like this, I think that it would show just how passionate I am about solving this issue. For 7 days and 7 nights, I got to experience firsthand what it's like to live on the streets of Toronto. So the first night I was dropped off, just said bye to the team, and walking down and just seeing them go was just like, okay, this is something, this is real, like we're doing this. Walking further down, now it's like, what do I do? Like where do I go? That was the first thing. It was just like, okay, you're out here now, you're doing this, what's next? Like, what am I supposed to do? The first night was probably one of the hardest nights. I really couldn't sleep. Just that thought, people walking around, the thought of if I sleep, I don't know what can happen to me. I had no control over how safe I was in any given moment. That was one of the hardest things, the first couple of nights. Eventually I got really mentally exhausted, physically exhausted, and I didn't really care. Eventually I didn't care if someone walked by me, I didn't care. I would just, I would sleep. The second day, I was really like, wow, I can't do this no more. I wanted to quit. By the third and fourth day, my body was just like, wow, my feet hurt. Just the way, me thinking about things were very, very different from my general thinking, how I would think on a daily basis. I didn't feel accepted, walking around and have people looking at me. In that current moment, I just didn't feel that they accepted me for who I was in that current state. At first, I didn't know what to expect going in. I didn't know, is this going to be a good experience, a bad experience? But overall, what I've gained, if anything, it's just we need to fight harder. Our fight's here, it's now, and it's something where it's not going away. And me as a person, if I'm truly passionate about changing things, this is an issue that needs to be tackled, and it's time sensitive. There's kids, there's youth out there on the street that in a month, the rate to get them off the street will decrease, significantly. If we don't take action right now, there might be no turning back for some people, and that's kind of what I came to understand, was just even 7 days, being homeless for 7 days was just like, tonight I have nowhere to sleep but out here in the road, outside. I could go to a shelter, but shelters can't house every homeless person that comes out. Most youth that end up on the street or are on the street, sometimes the shelter is not their way out. That's not their way out for the night. A lot of the times they're full and they have to sleep on the street. One of the worst things I seen was people close to my age looking down at someone that was homeless and laughing, as taking it for a joke. It's one thing to not do something, but it's another to make a joke out of it. The issue itself is the end result. So being homeless, living on the street, comes from a past experience, a past situation. That could be bullying, that could be mental illness, that could be certain things in life that just happen, and it can lead to this. So us as an organization, us as people, what do we tackle? We tackle the things that happen previous to being homeless. And if we're gonna change things and move the world forward, we have to do it as one unit. We can't be divided. It's something where when we're together, we're strong, you know. And if we just show love to certain things, as a city as a whole, we could do a lot, like, you know, here and in other cities, countries, to move the world forward in the right direction. To grasp it all now and to kind of just shed light and to tell everyone what it was like is just very hard. Just because in the moment it was so real, so different, so not what I'm used to. That now taking kind of a step back, it's really hard to go back into how I was feeling in those moments. Just because there was so much going on in my head, and just how I felt about certain things going on, certain things that I was experiencing. But if there was a word to explain it, it was just very heartbreaking. You know, just even in the light that there's not so much that I can, in this current moment, me as a person, that I can do about, like, you know, helping these people. The one thing that I'm gonna say to you is what we're trying to do here, what we're trying to accomplish will happen. I believe that, you know, it's gonna happen, whether it's in 10 years or it's in 5. The world's gonna know love, and for some people, it's gonna be because the show love comes. From the bottom of my heart, I just want to say thank you to everyone supporting. You're giving us the fuel to keep going and to just finish out what we started. Ma, I love you. I know you're mad at me. But this is something I had to do just to show people how serious we are on you know, changing things. And I always think, like, you know, what's it like to be homeless? And there's no better way than, like, to go and experience it myself. And part of the reason why I'm out here is to learn more. So, you know, when I do feel like going home, I just push myself. What I'm trying to do out here is break barriers, you know? Every night is very different. Tonight's gonna be very different just because I'm trying to cope with everything. I'm trying to make it livable in my mind, so I'm trying different things in order to get comfortable. You know, you're always thinking, like, you know, what's gonna happen if I fall asleep, or what's gonna happen if my stuff gets taken, or, like, you know, if someone comes and tries to do something. It's taking a toll. But at the end of the day, if you start something, finish it. Like, you know, we live in a world where everyone says they're gonna do something, and they don't be that person. Like, you know, go for your dreams, stay motivated, find those driving factors, and keep pushing forward.